So I grew up in California and born and raised there. I grew up in a Catholic family, but God was not a huge part of my growing up. I went to church with my friend Jessica, and I saw people worship for the first time. And I feel like that's a funny thing because I had been to all these churches and I have sung songs before, but seeing people truly worship Christ. And I was just taken back by that. And so I asked my friend Jessica to explain what was going on. And she shared the gospel with me and that Jesus died on the cross for me. And I had heard those stories before, but things just seemed different. And so I kept going back, and I ended up going to a Christian camp that winter. The pastor talked about our worst enemy and said to put that person in our mind. And I thought of that person, and he said, "Would you die for that person?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Why would I die for my worst enemy?" And then he said, "Well, you were once Christ's worst enemy, and he died for you." And that just shook my world. I just kind of turned to my friend and I said, "I don't deserve this." And she looked at me and she said, "Neither do I. That's what grace is. That's what the cross is all about." And so from that day forward, I devoted my life to Christ, to serve Him. And from that day forward, my life has looked so differently because of Him. So I feel like the Lord has blessed me with this ability to love others. And as I was thinking through of what I wanted to major in, teaching came to my mind right away, because I get this ability to hang out with students for 8 hours long and to teach them about love, to teach them about grace, to teach them about patience and kindness and responsibility, respect. I get this ability to love on them. My pastor recommended Cedarville to me. And there were some other schools that he recommended, but I honestly really wanted to go to the school that was in my town. But I talked to my parents, and they recommended me to kind of go to a different school. And I was really frustrated because I wanted to go to that school. And so it kind of led me to apply to Cedarville. I just realized that the Lord was calling me to step out in faith, to say, "Lord, I trust you, and I trust where you're leading me." And I can definitely see how the Lord has used that time of me jumping out in faith to send me to a place that was unfamiliar to me, and with people that I didn't know, and to just trust the Lord. Because through my time at Cedarville and a little bit before that, when I first became a Christian, the Lord was tugging on my heart to go and do missions. Went to Nepal to do my student teaching, and was a wonderful experience. I loved the school there. I loved the Nepali people and just learning about a different culture. And after my time in Nepal, I flew back to California, and I didn't know what was next. And I was reading an email from Cedarville about how there was a need for a 4th grade teacher in Springfield. So I emailed Coach Moore that night, because I just knew that was only from God. That it just so happened that I checked my email at that time. That it just so happened that after I emailed him, he immediately emailed me back. And it just so happened that everything just worked out so well. And that's not coincidence, that's God. I think that goes to show that the Lord was at the center of all of this. He knew that I wasn't going to go back to Nepal yet. He knew that ECA needed a 4th grade teacher, and he knew that Julia would be that teacher.